So there's one question that I get all the time, and that question is to say, Thabang, how's the market doing right now? Especially now because the interest rates are going up and there's just so much going up. Inflation is going up, petrol is going up, food is going up. So everybody is concerned about the market, how it's actually doing. So in this video, I just want to give you some pointers of what is actually happening in the market so that you can have an idea and you can make an informed decision of what you must do in the market, or you must stay away, you must whatever that you decide. As you know, in this channel, we talk all things real estate, all things personal finance, so that you are the driver of your financial life and not just the passenger, because if you are the passenger, somebody else is driving to their own destination, and I'm sure it will not be the destination that you want to get to. So let's get to it, shall we? So what is actually the average interest rate at this moment in time compared with what the bank is actually giving, right? We all know that the interest rate is just increased a week ago or so, but what is actually the bank giving the buyers at this point in time? So the people are still at this point in time getting the benefit of getting less than the prime. In actual fact, people are getting 0.6 minus 0.6 compared to the prime, which is a very good rate for people that are getting this, all right? But if you compare the same time as last year, which is November of 2022, right? If you're comparing with November of 2021, you will see that you have actually an increase by 0.37, which also is not too bad, but still people are getting way less than the prime. And the other aspect is that what is the average loan to value that people are actually getting? So for all buyers, maybe before I get to that, let me clarify what is loan to value amount. Loan to value amount is basically the purchase price that you are buying your property at. Let's say if you are buying the property, you are buying the property for 1 million rand, which is actually the purchase price that you have agreed with the owner of that house in question that you are buying. So the banks will give you their evaluation based on your credit record, based on the evaluation of the house, to say they are going to give you a certain percentage, either 100% or whatever, 100% being the full price, or a certain percentage of which will be evaluated based on the bank's criteria. At this moment, they're giving all buyers 91%, which is not a bad loan to value. And then they are giving to first-time buyers 92%, which means at this time the first-time buyers have an edge compared to all the other buyers or repeat buyers, right? And then what is the average age of the applicants that are actually really buying properties at this moment in time? We are seeing that the market is telling us that people are averaging around 38 years that are buying at this moment in time, and then the first time buyers are averaging at 37%. At 37 years of age. But I think this is really a bad age to start buying a property. I understand that some people are going through whatever they are going through, but I mean, 37 years and you've been renting for the whole time. How many years have you lost of renting, of which you cannot recover that money? You know that if you follow this channel, that I'm a fan of an earlier starter in terms of buying a property, because if you start early, you are able to build up equity in time, right? And then that is actually the start of how you generate your wealth, right? Because otherwise, if you're starting 37 years old, you have lost so much time. There's so much people that are ahead of you. Not that it's a competition, but in the wealth, you are less, right? So, which is not good. I mean, you can basically start realistically at 25 years old but you must just buy any property that you can afford at that time and not just look for your dream house. The problem is people are waiting until they're 37 years old so that they can buy the dream house, but it doesn't work that way, okay? So, South Africa, let's reduce this number of years and let's start the average around 25 years old, right? Okay, and the percentage of the first-time buyers that we have in the market at this point, we have 72%, which is basically the same percentage that we have this time last year. So there's not much changes in terms of the people that are entering the property market. So we only have just 72%, which is also a good percentage. But one of the things that most people misunderstand is what is the percentage of the bonds that are given by your own bank, right? I get so many people, they come to me and say, my bank is gonna give me the bond. It will be shocking to you if I give you this percentage, right? So I always say this, banks are not in business to please you. Banks are in business to make money. And it doesn't matter whether you bank with the bank or you don't bank with the bank, it doesn't matter. So you must not necessarily push that you're gonna do a private application where you only apply to your bank. Rather, use a bond originator that will apply to all the banks, and then you can actually have some negotiation power to deal with your bank if they're giving you a higher interest rate, if they're giving you a lower loan to value ratio. So this gives you a benefit when you apply to all the banks. Actually, if we are looking at the stats for November, 21% of the people that applied actually got away with their own bank. Otherwise, the rest of the majority went with other banks. This must tell you a story. And this number actually went down if you compare with a 2021 value, because in 2021, this time it was 26%, which shows you that it is not really a high value. So loyalty will be very expensive to you, but if you want, you must be loyal to be yourself, right? Okay, and the last point that I'm going to touch on is the average purchase price, right? This is for sellers and for buyers. For sellers, they must know that, okay, where their property is compared to where people are buying at this point in time. But remember, this really is just an average. It can differ based on what market you are at, right? So for all buyers, it's around 1.172. So that's the average age for all buyers in South Africa in November, right? And then for first-time buyers, they are buying properties around 1052, which is 1,052,000. So this is where first-time buyers are starting. Remember, we just discovered that the first-time buyers are buying at 37 years old. That explains why they're buying already above 1 million. But if you started earlier on, you will buy way below 1 million, right? I hope this video actually indicates to you and tell you what is actually happening in the market. But one last thing that I want to talk about is that although we have an increase on the interest rate, it is really not the worst that we have ever had, right? We have had worse interest rate. It has gone up until around 25%. You can just imagine, and now you are just around 10.5. That is like half of that. So you can just imagine that the people at that time, what they were actually experiencing. So it is not the worst. But you must also understand that the market works in cycles. So you must understand the cycles of the market, and then you must understand how you can understand the market at this point in time and how you should use it according to your to benefit you and your family. All right. I hope if you watched until this far, this video has added some value, and please subscribe and share with your friends and your family. Cheers. I will see you in the next one.